Live. We are live. This is Coach Arnie, and we are on the GoingSoloMedia.com, WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, Radio, TV, and Podcast, #1 Internet Singles Talk Radio Talk Network. And this is the Health, Love, and Life Show, and I'm Arnie. And we are going to talk about happiness tonight. Hey, Enrico, he's over on Facebook. We're going a simulcast here on Instagram as well. So I'm over there on Coach Arnie F on Instagram, for those of you that want to follow me there. And you can also call me anytime at 602-390-9144. And let's talk about it because, one of the things that I was doing a lot of before all the chaos in our society today was doing a lot of workshops on anxiety, depression, and suicide prevention, especially with school-age children, because I've been in the mental health field for many, many, many years, having done a lot of work with brain injuries and well over 30 years now working with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and all forms of dementia as well. So I've always been curious about how the brain works, and we're getting a big dose of that right now, especially with a good friend of mine just wrote an article stating how what she did. She looked at all of the research in the past when we've had periods of high unemployment, and she's run the numbers, and they're facts because it's already happened. And in these times when we had a lot of high unemployment, the suicide rate skyrocketed, and we're starting to see that. The alcoholism rate skyrockets, and the addiction rate skyrockets. Now, and I also want to remind people that when I talk about addiction, it's just not about drugs and things. Food is also a chemical, and it creates the same chemical reaction in the brain. And so what are you seeing right now? We're seeing a lot of, the #1 selling thing, I think I might have mentioned it last week, #1 selling things in the grocery store is alcohol right now. It's a fact. I could just check it out. And what's the #1 type of food being bought? It's not exactly the vegetables. Now, the first weekend, and we've talked about this before, the first weekend it was everybody's buying all, because I don't know, I think they thought Armageddon was happening. But now you can go in the store and get your sweet potatoes or your squash or your lettuce or whatever you want, and they got plenty of it. Don't worry about that. Anything healthy in the store right now is good to go. I was even worried. I've got a couple roasts today, and I was worried, man, I hope they're going to be there, because the first week that this all went down, the first couple weeks, man, anytime they had a roast or anything in there, man, boom, all the red meat was gone. I said, wait a minute, that's my diet. Let me mess with my stuff, taking it home and shoving it in your freezer. So now, but that hasn't been a problem the last few times. So because, it was, at first it was all the hamburger and all the eggs. So then now there's plenty of eggs. Went in the store today, got a couple cartons of eggs. It's, usually would last me a couple weeks or so. And so, but it's still the junk food, man. That's racing out that store with the box cereals, and I'm always curious. I'm a curious creature. So I always like to look at people's carts, because you can't look at their faces anymore because they're all covered up with their face mask and their gloves and all that stuff. So I don't get to smile at people as much as I used to. But I peek in their carts, and there's people are loading up as if they're going on a vacation, a camping vacation. So I don't know. Hopefully that's going to change. Hopefully we're going to get positive again. Gosh, it's no fun being around negative people. Have you noticed that? It's no fun. It's like, geez, everybody's on edge. I think the edge is getting a little better, but man, we need to chill out. So that's why I want to talk about happiness tonight. I was just going to go through some very simple things when we talk about happiness, because it's one of those things we all want, we all chase. Some of us never find it, because sometimes we don't want to be happy, because then we lose our bitch. We don't get to complain anymore. And I've always been a big fan when I do a workshop or a talk on happiness to bring up the fact that when we become 100% responsible for our lives, I mean 100%, then we don't have to, well, one, we don't complain and blame because we're responsible. And when you're responsible, joy is going to find you. See, when you're not responsible, then you're looking for somebody else, whether it's if you're in an intimate relationship, if you're in a family, if you're at a business, you're looking for your joy, your happiness to come from somebody else. So that's putting it on the other person, which then you have an opportunity to bitch about when things don't go your way. You get to complain. They don't like me. They're not buying my product. They don't want to come to my restaurant. Wah, 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 wah. Instead of looking inside and saying, what can I do to project the image that will attract what I want in my life? And that's when you start to find happiness. Because see, and I'm going to just give you a quick definition, my definition, and then I'm going to go through some simple things here, and I'll probably end up with how I consider happiness. But just a real quick definition that I have been using for years now is happiness is not about what makes you happy. Happiness is about what you do for somebody else. See, which is why I kind of chuckle now when I go to the grocery. At first I was anxious. Now I just chuckle when I go to the grocery store. But and I think I'm going to have to go less now because I believe they're starting to lift the restrictions on water. I didn't see a sign today because I used to go in the weekends and just buy the number of gallons that I would need for the week. And then when this whole thing hit, I was first you were able to get 1 gallon, then you were able to get 2 gallons. So I was having to go in every other day or so, and that was a little annoying to me. So now I can go in maybe, once a week for my water and, stuff I'm going to use for the week. And then if I need any miscellaneous things, I get to go in there. But kindness, I jumped ahead of myself. But happiness is really about what you do for somebody else. So if I go to the grocery store or to an office or whatever, and let's say, open a door for somebody, like at the post office, even though a lot of places now, have you noticed they're opening the door for you? Like my post office has the door permanently open. Hey, this is Phoenix, Arizona. I guarantee it's not going to stay that long. But opening the door for somebody always makes the other person smile. I don't care who it is. They will smile at you. And that always makes you feel good. So in that moment, I find happiness. Get it? So if you do something for somebody, whether it's opening a door or, giving them directions, sharing information with them, giving them your place in line, I don't know, whatever it might be, that's an act of kindness. I promise you, it will make you happy. That's why you've always heard the adage, go into a nursing home, and even though you can't do that now, and maybe just buy a dozen roses, and just hand them out, and especially when it's not in season. If it's not Valentine's Day, you can get roses pretty cheap, and you can hand them out. And you want to see smiles on faces? Gosh, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and it's that easy. And if people knew that how easy happiness was, maybe we would do more things like that. Just being kind to other people. How about encouraging somebody? When you encourage somebody, I promise you, I dare you to do it tomorrow. You will get a smile from somebody, and you will get somebody who's in their heart thinking, wow, I never thought he even noticed me, or I never thought she even noticed me. And you encourage them, like somebody at your office that is, maybe doing some errands or something. If you're in the office, now we're not working at home, but somebody that does something for you and say, hey, look, I really like the way you do that. So you're complimenting them. And then I'm saying, man, you're going to really, you've got a big future here. You're doing incredibly well. And, but that encouragement from somebody who they don't think is even watching, huge thing. And also if you, just being positive with somebody, being positive, instead of being doom and gloom, somebody who's positive, looking up. I drive people crazy with being positive. I know I do. I drive my wife crazy, even though, sometimes I'm hoping it more of it rubs off, but I know that I drive a lot of people nuts because we're so used to negative. Have you noticed that where our society has gotten? Instead of you be the encourager, the positive person in your group. I promise you, try it. Whether try it next, since we're not meeting right now until hopefully a few more weeks, but next time you're on one of your Zoom calls with a group or whatever you might be doing, try being the person, make it a point to be the person who is positive, encouraging, and loving to the people in the group, and see what happens. Just sprinkle it in there. Don't overdo it, because then it's not going to be genuine. And I promise you, people are going to notice, and they're going, man, what's going on with Arnie? I mean, he's not joining in the rest of us reindeers and being negative. He keeps saying something positive. I promise you, they'll notice. I promise you, and you'll feel good. You'll feel good. You're like, wow, look, I felt good. I wasn't just going and being negative. Be positive. What's the worst that happens? I tell you, the worst that happens is you're right back where everybody else is. That's the worst. The best, man, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel off the charts good. And, and here's another one. You want another way to be happy? Help somebody win. Help somebody that whether it's in your family, it's on your team. I have a young guy. He's having to work from home right now. He's just a wonderful, wonderful client. And every day before he signs off, he's asking people on his team via email, is there anything I can do to help you guys? Is there anything I can look up for you or help with you? I don't mind. He does that every day, sometimes twice a day, if they have a midday meeting. That's right. And so he's never complaining about his work or being on or having to work from home, even though he loves working in the office. He just loves going to work. He loves it. And I just don't, be patient. You're going to get back there. Just hang on. But in the meantime, be the encourager. Be the positive guy in the group. And he is. He's driving his family crazy now because he's so positive. I love it. I love it. Because that's what happens. You separate yourself when you're positive. Because there's not a lot of us out there. Look around. It'll drive people crazy. So help somebody win. Show them what to do. Gosh, it is so powerful. You will help them win. We all want to win really bad. We do. We do. And so help them. You can help them win. And also, how about this? When they win or when somebody else wins, why don't you celebrate? If we're competing with people on our team, in our families, I've seen this. I see it all the time in families. I see people in families competing with each other. And when someone else wins, they get upset. I'm thinking, man, this is crazy. Or they go out and do something else that might even be negative to get attention, to draw away from the person who just won. Because they haven't learned how powerful celebrating somebody else's win is. It's powerful, guys. Helping somebody, when you celebrate the success of other people, it makes you look huge, and they'll remember you. People will remember you when you are that person. And it takes courage to do that, because there are times when you will be on a team at work, maybe even in your own family, and you really wanted to be first. You really wanted to win, and you didn't. Okay? And no one even noticed how hard you worked at it. No one noticed. And you had the courage to turn around and celebrate the success of that other person. That will add up. It will add up. Plus, you're building character. In doing so, you are building character, and you will be a better person for that. I mean, I know that sounds cliched, but it's true. Character is powerful, and it will pay off. It will. Because if everybody's out there just looking for attention, which we all are, and you're trying to get attention no matter what, negative or positive, many are, at some point that will catch up with you as well. Okay. So helping people win, celebrating people's success is a great way to be happy, because you're helping people. It's an act of kindness. You're helping people. How about this? This is a big one. You ready? How about just telling people the truth? Yeah, telling people the truth. It's an amazing thing, because what it does, it creates trust with your team, with your family. It's hard. Believe me, we're all guilty of this one. It's hard to tell the truth all the time. Because, see, we're all afraid of the other person's reaction. Sometimes we just don't want to deal with it. I've been there. Doesn't feel good. It's a hard choice. But when you have a team of guys or ladies or team members, and you can tell them the truth, what's going on, maybe you're having a bad day. Maybe you know something that they need to know. Maybe, when it comes to trust as well, maybe somebody can confide in you, and you tell them, look, this isn't going anywhere between you and I. This is going to stay right here. So you tell them the truth. Because if you lie and you share the information, you have broken trust, which is my big red flag. And you can destroy the integrity of your team. That's right. So telling the truth is really, really important. Because when you know deep in your heart that you have a relationship with somebody that you can share, and they can trust you because you're telling the truth, that'll make you happy. Because, see, we all want to feel safe. And if you can make someone else feel safe, you're going to make them happy too. And I promise you, it'll make you happy. It does every time. Try it. I mean, all those things I just talked about, encouraging, love. We just touched on love. We'll come back to that in a minute. Celebrating, helping somebody win, and then celebrating their wins. Telling the truth. Big one. All right, guys, let's take a few seconds here. Take a little break with the GoingSoloMedia.com WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, radio, TV, and podcast. #1 internet singles radio. This is the Health, Love, and Life Show with me, Arnie Fonseca Jr. All right. I think we're ready to go. Let's go back for a second here, since we did talk about love. Probably the most powerful emotion next to fear. So let's do it this way. The most powerful positive emotion, love. The most powerful negative emotion, fear. And we're seeing a lot of that right now. So if we look at the two most common fears around the world, which we've talked about, not the ones we're born with, the ones that we learn. The fear of not being enough, whatever that might be, good enough, strong enough, doesn't matter. And the fear of not being loved. There you go. So if you share with somebody the fact that they are loved and you make them feel love, that is super powerful. You want some happiness in your life, make other people feel loved. Because one, they need that encouragement, because so many people today, don't even love themselves. They have no clue how to love other people because they don't even love themselves. It's almost impossible to love others when you don't love yourself. You can have feelings for them, but like I said, you can't give what you don't have. And it's hard. And it will come off as that as well, because trying to love other people, you're still going to try to get attention for yourself because you're starving for it. So a lot of times people that don't love themselves come off as desperate. Yeah, because they're starving for love. Their cup is not full. They need to fill it up. And if you're not willing to fill up your own cup with love, then you have to go to other sources for it. And so that becomes almost an impossibility for you to be kind to other people, because you're always looking for a, what's the word I'm looking for? A transaction. Love for you becomes a transaction. Hey, if you fill up my love tank, I will fill up yours. I'll be nice to you, but you got to be nice to me. That's very typical. Very typical, but it's not lasting. It's not real. It's temporary. It's a transaction. Just like you going to the store and buying something. As soon as you eat it up or use it up, it's gone. Then you got to go get some more. See, love, when it's unconditional and it's for yourself, it's ever flowing. Your cup will runneth over with love. But you got to be willing to go there. You got to be willing to go there. So love is super important in all this, as far as achieving happiness. Let's do a couple more here, and then I got a couple other little short lists I want to share with you. How about judgment? Let's start with yourself. So if you're not judging yourself, there's a good chance you're going to love yourself. But if you're constantly judging yourself as somebody that's not good enough, not loved, get it? Then chances are you're not going to be happy with yourself. But if you stop judging yourself, maybe you got a shot at this thing. And certainly don't judge others. Man, oh man, we have an epidemic of that going on. There is so much judgment going on out there, it makes your head spin. That's why I try to stay away from all that negative stuff. I don't engage in it. I have certain positive people that I reach out to on a daily basis, and I keep it at that, because the rest of it is not worth it to me. It's not worth it to me. So judgment is poison, so stay away from it. And then, a couple other things that will help you to achieve happiness through kindness is elevating others. Elevate them, move them up, make them feel good, edify them, and especially in front of their family, friends, coworkers. You want to make somebody happy. Elevate. How do you feel when someone brags about you in front of your colleagues, in front of your family, your wife, your husband? I guarantee you feel great. So flip it around. How would they feel if you did it to them? Same way. Same way. It's more than worth it. Give it a shot. It's more than worth it. Okay? So elevating people, edifying them is a big, big, big way to achieve happiness. How about loyalty? There's a big one. It's funny how there just doesn't seem to be a lot of that going around anymore. People are moving from job to job, and relationships are, you have a really high divorce rate. You just loyalty just doesn't seem to be the same as it once was. And I'll put trust in there as well. We talked about trust earlier, but you can put trust in with loyalty, sure. But loyalty is so important, because why would you share intimate thoughts with somebody that you didn't think was loyal to you? It's something you have to earn through time, through behavior. I mean, if you're loyal, you're loyal. I mean, if you're somebody that's going to backstab your manager and leave him hanging, that's not loyal. Because if you do it once, you'll probably do it again. And don't be surprised if it happens to you as well. But if you're loyal, worst that happens is you can always have your chin up, chest out, and know that you did your best. That's pretty good. It's not a lot of that going around right now. Hey, it's like telling the truth. When you know you've told the truth, it gets easy because you don't have anything to hide. It's a beautiful thing. That's why when I love people that tell me that I said a certain thing or did a certain thing, I'm going, no, I didn't. Well, yeah, okay. I guess if that's what you're going to say, but I don't have any problem with that because I didn't. As long as you're telling the truth. So loyalty is the same way. If you're loyal, it's a beautiful thing because there's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to go. You're there. You made it. You're loyal. You're hanging in there with that person. Okay. So those are some really, really good, simple things that we can do to achieve happiness because it comes through kindness to other people. So let's look at a couple other things that I found as I was kind of poking around about happiness. A lot of people believe that when you increase your knowledge of something, the world around you, I'm a big believer of this as well, especially in today's situation, because what getting us in trouble today is we don't have enough people seeking knowledge. So we're just repeating information. That's not knowledge. Knowledge is when you do homework, you look it up, you see if it makes sense, you talk about it, you verify it, and so you increase your knowledge. It's like reading a book. We don't all read books and go, well, that's true. No, you read it, you check it out, you look things up, you ask questions about it, and you come to a conclusion. Okay, I believe that, but I don't believe that. So when you increase your knowledge, it gives you options on how to think about things. When you don't, then the only option you got is to either accept it or not. So knowledge is a wonderful way to improve your happiness. Knowledge, just knowing more about something that you care about or that's important. How about wealth? People say, well, money can't make you happy. No, you're exactly right. But money can provide options for you to do things, to travel, to give to people, to help other people, to start a business, to help a child, to whatever it might be. Money gives you options. So I choose not to make fun of people that have money because what they do with it, that's their business. But it's something that if you had an opportunity, what would you do with it? Would you be selfish or would you be selfless? Would you use it to provide options for yourself? I don't know. We're not going to know unless we have it, right? Or some of us that have had it, what did you do with it? Did you make good choices with it? So wealth is an option. This one I would put first, but fitness and health, I put that first. I'm going through a little problem right now. I have a little infection in my leg. I hit something at the gym the other day. And so I'm dealing with it. In fact, I'm not good at being down since I've been on this fitness roll here, especially during this little Corona thing. But I'm appreciating my health and fitness, especially when you can't do things. You really appreciate it. And but I believe that, especially as we get older, like me, as an older person, we need to prioritize our health, because when we have health, we have happiness. There's nothing like it, because all you got to do is go through what I'm going through right now and lose the ability to go out and run and jump and enjoy life. And you find out real fast how important that is. Okay. So I like to put that first. In many of the research that I looked up, obviously health was a big part of happiness. Here's some other more of the psychological side of it. And one of them would be forgiveness. See, this is something that we don't talk about enough, but a lot of people hold grudges because they're judgmental. And a lot of people, if they don't get their way, boy, do they hold grudges. And hate is a brutal emotion. Hate will destroy you. There's a lot of that going on right now. Hate will destroy you. Okay. And so how do we get rid of all that? Forgiveness. Yeah, that's right. As bad as it might be, as horrible. I was listening to I think it was Joel Osteen the other day, and it was an older one. I've heard it before, where a lady, her son was killed by another young man. And I want to say it could have been, it wasn't auto. I think it might have been gunshot. He was sentenced to 25 years. And she was all about putting him away, death penalty, all that stuff. And eventually he got released, and she was there, and because she had met him she finally had gone to the jail after a few years and met him and talked to him. And when he was released, she literally adopted him as her son. Yeah. He lived nearby. He worked. He helped her out. It was an amazing story of forgiveness. Amazing story of forgiveness. Yeah, she could have lived the rest of her life bitter, angry, upset, and she had every right to. I know people right now that have no forgiveness. They don't have a forgiveness bone in their body, but they're miserable. Because vengeance is one thing, but it doesn't solve the problem. It just makes you more bitter. So when we learn to forgive, because remember, forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for you, for us. When we forgive, we are taking this pain and we're getting rid of it. That's right. And when you you purge pain from your body, you're going to feel a lot better about your life. And you're probably going to be happier. When you carry around a bunch of pain in your body, like I'm carrying around pain in my foot or my leg, it doesn't make you happy, because it's constantly there to remind you about the pain. But when the pain leaves your body, then all you have left is the movement of your body, the smoothness. It's like a well-oiled machine. It just works. It's like if you ever looked at the backside of an old-fashioned, like a Swiss watch or a very high-quality watch, and watch the gears. It's amazing. The ingenuity, the engineering, the smoothness of watching that machine work is how your body works without pain. And that's how you would be when you remove bitterness from your life. That's right. You will be the same way when you remove bitterness from your life. Oh, sorry, Instagram. I got out of your way there for a second. Let me change that a little bit. There you go. Okay. So, yeah, forgiveness, huge. How about gratitude? How about gratitude? That's right. Gratitude. Being thankful for what you know, right now for worry, if the one thing that I could share with everybody in this country right now that's worried is gratitude. If you got up every day and wrote down five things that you were thankful for, I guarantee you by the time you're done with that 5 or 10 minutes that you spent thinking about things that you're thankful for, whether it's your health, your family, your neighbors, whatever, I don't care. It's your deal. You will feel less worry because you're thinking about things that you're thankful for. How can you do both? It's kind of impossible. It's impossible. So, and the antidote to worry is gratitude. That's right. That's how simple it is. The attitude for worry is gratitude. Just think about that. It makes a difference. The attitude, or the antidote to worry is gratitude. That's right. Very simple. How about this one? I love this because I use this all the time, especially when I'm struggling to get to sleep at night. And I sleep pretty good. Even the past couple, well, yeah, I've been okay. I haven't had that thing. But when I can lay there and go, let go, which is a key word to me to remind me to let go of stuff that I'm worried about. Let it go. Okay. Then I follow that up with let God. Because as a Christian, I say, God, take this from me. Because God doesn't want you to worry. He wants to worry for you. He'll take it. He's got big shoulders. So let it go. Let God have it. And then the last thing, relax. If I can, I'll repeat that 2 or 3, 4 or 5 times. And next thing I know, I'm sound asleep. Why? Because I emptied all that out. I emptied it out. You can too. Some people want to hold on. You know, another strategy for that is keep a pad of paper by your room, by your table there in your bedroom. And if something pops in your head, write it down. Or just sit there and mind dump. Take 5 minutes and just mind dump all the crazy thoughts going through you. Just write it down. And you can mind dump stuff. That'll make you happy because it'll clear your head. And you don't have to think about it till the morning. Get some rest. So let it go is a good one. And then the last one on this little short list I made too was staying in the moment. And I got reminded of this week by one of my former clients who I see all the time. He's a great guy. He's a trainer. And I was asking him about something. He goes, Coach, somebody taught me to not worry about that. You just stay in the moment. I go, you're right. And he was. Because I was asking him something to think about. That's right. Let go, let God. You got it. And then he said that and he reminded me. So I said, thanks for reminding me about staying in the moment and quit worrying about all this other stuff. So, which is why during this whole fiasco, because he's a trainer and we have a secret gym, but him and I have not had one conversation about all this. Isn't that something? Because everything's always positive with him and encouraging and loving for the kids he works with and the things he's doing. And he's always looking out for me as well. He goes, Coach, you need to talk to that guy. He's struggling right now with some stuff. Or his wife and him aren't doing good. Or, just amazing things like that. Because he understands how it helped him. But he reminded me, like I said, to stay in the moment. And I'm reminding you as well. Stay in the moment. Focus on what you're doing right now. It's good. See, if I was sitting there worried, okay, what am I going to do? after this, I got to do this, I got to do that, I would have a horrible show. And I'm still trying to do two things here at once with Instagram as well. But stay in the moment. You'd be surprised what you can accomplish by staying in the moment. Be present. Any of you that have gone through AA or any recovery program, you know what I'm talking about. Because that's what it's all about. You can't worry about tomorrow. It's going to create anxiety. And you can't worry about what happened yesterday because that's going to cause depression. Stay right here. Stay right here. And you'd be surprised what you can accomplish. So let's, as we finish up here, let's look at three things that and some of these are going to repeat, but these are the three ways that I look at happiness. These are three things that I look at when I determine where I'm going with happiness and what I need to do. This is my game plan. Something that like I said, some of these are going to sound familiar. But number one, kindness. Number one is kindness, and it starts with me. So if I can't be kind and loving to me, I'm in trouble. But then it just flows from there. Kindness to other people. Is it easy? No, because there are some people I don't want to be kind to. I just don't feel it. So I either have to push myself or I walk away. I walk away. Because if you're sitting there getting all angsted up, that doesn't do anybody any good. And being phony with somebody doesn't do anybody any good either. But I tell you what, let me tell you something. It's easy to be kind to people that you already love and are kind to you. That's easy. But what I just shared with you is really hard. So if you can do acts of kindness with people that you just don't want to deal with, that is a true mark of somebody who's growing. That's hard to do. It really is hard to do. So just something to think about. So kindness is a big deal. Number two is loving unconditionally. That's a big one. Because I want to love myself unconditionally, but I also want to love other people unconditionally. I've really worked hard at this too. I don't put any expectations on anybody that I'm in a relationship with, whether it's business or personal. None. And that's been a hard choice to make because it makes it easier. Now, do I encourage them? Absolutely. If they ask for my opinion, I'll give it to them. But I don't put any expectations on them. I'll encourage them. If they're doing it, hey, you're doing awesome. You have so much potential. You're unbelievable, whatever it might be. I don't care. So loving unconditionally, that means without condition. And that's been a lot of work to get there. But so kindness and loving unconditionally. And then lastly, non-judgment. That's right. No judgment. It's not my job, not my place. Don't want to do it. It's hard because there's a lot of times I want to tell them it's not for me. But I tell you what I do. Really, really hard. You got it. Yeah, exactly. You can do it. You can do it. You can reach out. And but the way I look at judgment is understanding. My goal that I try to do every day is to understand other people. I want to see the world from your point of view, not to agree with it. No, that's phony. But to understand where you're coming from so that I can encourage you in whatever way you want, whether you want to get better at something or just whatever. I don't care. That's your deal. Now, if you try to make it my deal, then I'll tell you, no, that's not where we're going, or I'll walk away because I'm not going to argue with you about it. Because a lot of people want you to do their deal or see their point of view and agree with it. That's phony. And a lot of people do that just to get along, and then it doesn't work. At some point, it will get old, and it will become resentment. So I don't want to go there. So there you go. Those are my top 3: kindness, loving unconditionally, non-judgment, understanding. There you go. So that's the way I look at things as far as happiness. So just remember, happiness is one of those things, guys, as we finish up here, that's underneath your feet. You can have it anytime you want. Quit chasing it. Chasing happiness just makes you tired. All right, guys, it's Coach Arnie. And I love you guys. This is the Health, Love, and Life Show. I'm here every Thursday at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope we're going to have a great week next week. I hope we see lots of light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm excited. I'm encouraged. And I want you to be encouraged as well. Love you guys. And don't forget, you can look me up. Call me anytime, 602-390-9144. Let's talk. Or you can email me at arniefonseca.jr@gmail.com. Would love to set up a time and have a talk anytime. Anytime. That's why I'm here. Love you guys. Bye.